What's going on, everybody? We have an incredible guest joining us right now from Miami, Florida. We've got Eric Spofford.
Yeah,
Guys, we're super happy, Eric, and super fortunate to have you on here tonight, man. I know a lot of people were really looking forward to this one when we made the announcement that you were going to be coming on, and obviously, one thing about Eric that I love, and honestly, a lot of the mentors that we have on is just how respected you are in the space that you're in. Being that you're a very well-known entrepreneur out of Miami. There's some people that aren't necessarily like when people talk about Eric, man, they love you because
I
you've
appreciate it.
done it extremely credible. You built a business, you sold it for over $100 million. Now you're giving back. We know that you've got some stuff where you're helping a lot of people grow and build their businesses as well. We'll get into that at the end as well to talk to some of the members in here. And then you're also doing a ton of stuff with real estate. So before we get into some Q&As, Eric, I'd love for you to give a background on yourself to all the people in here today who may not know who Eric Spofford is.
Yeah, no doubt. James, thanks for having me on. You and the whole team. Huge fan of the work you've done with the brand and blowing it up. Appreciate the love. Of course, the couple times that we've collaborated. Guys, a quick intro, and then we'll open it up for Q&A, right? I grew up in the greater Boston area, came from a pretty fucked up past, like a fucked up family life, started dealing drugs at a very young age, got involved in drugs and got addicted to drugs. And so by the time I was 14 years old, I was selling drugs and addicted to Oxycontin. By the time I was 15, it turned into heroin. Addiction progressed from 15 till I was just before 22 years old. So about 7 years, I was addicted to IV use of heroin and cocaine and a lot of other drugs. I, went through it. I mean, just that 7 years of my life, is probably it in itself without everything that happened later on, movie quality drama. I mean, I went to jail a lot. I've been stabbed multiple times. I overdosed 5 times, ended up on life support. I got a big old scar behind my head from getting a 3-foot crowbar cracked into my skull by the Latin Kings. I've been shot at. I really went through a lot, and I really, really went through a lot. And so on the morning of December 7th of 2006, after a drug deal that I was dope sick. I was in withdrawal from coming off of heroin. I had just gotten out of jail, God willing, for the last time. Um, and in a moment of desperation, I robbed a kid with a kitchen knife for $82. And I took that $82 and went and bought 4 bags of heroin. I hid in a closet. This was December 6th of 2006. And I got high on a mind-altering substance for the last time. The next morning, I took off on the run because I actually caught a charge for that situation. And I was, like I said, I was a couple months shy of my 22nd birthday, 135 pounds, track marks up and down both arms. I had, a fucking 480 credit score, I think. I don't know, it was like the worst credit score you could possibly have. I owed everybody money. I burnt every bridge that I'd had. My life was an absolute mess. But I was very clear on a couple things. One main thing I was clear on, that this was kind of the jumping off point. I either had to change my life right now or I was going to die or go to prison. And I did. And so this past December 7th, I celebrated 18 years of consistent sobriety and recovery. If you watch my content, you'll know I attribute sobriety and my relationship with God to all of my success. I talk about sobriety as a superpower, right? That a lot of success is about the things that you're going to have to do, but a lot of success is about the things that you don't do. And there's a lot of things that I don't do that allowed me to be successful. I went on to start my home state's very first sober living house in 2008. Started a business as a 23-year-old kid, and I scaled that business over 13 years, 2 months, to be one of the largest providers of addiction and mental health treatment services in New England, so the whole northeast part of the country. And I eventually sold that in December of 2021 to a private equity company, private equity backed strategic business for $115 million. I've also done hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate transactions. Apart from that, built a personal brand online, do a fair amount of consulting and coaching to other entrepreneurs. Since I sold the business a little more than 3 years ago, I've started another one. So I'm not only just on Instagram and social media and, helping others. I'm the active day-to-day CEO of several businesses. One is another addiction treatment business that we've launched, which currently we have 3 facilities in California, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And we're just recently capped over 200 employees on a headcount, 200 full-time employees, FTEs there. And then I also have also an aggressively growing real estate business where we put together single-family homes with low-income housing tenants as investment products and sell them to people that want to own real estate and enjoy cash flow and tax benefits and appreciation instead of putting their money into the stock market or crypto or whatever else. Amongst a handful of other things, I manage a transportation company. We have a Challenger 604 super mid-sized jet that we manage on charter program, as well as a 92-foot yacht called the Bonus Round. James and I shot our last content there, which he put out, I don't know what that was, a week or two ago, and a bunch of other stuff.
And you're also an incredible father.
And I got 2 boys. That's right. The most important job that I have. Yep. I got a 13-year-old and a 3-year-old. Gavin is my oldest and Mace is my youngest. And that's actually the reason why I have my hard stop at 8 is because if I don't, I won't see him before bed. And so I got to go do my bedtime routine with my little guy, my 3-year-old. So yeah, most important job I have is being their dad.
Yeah, I always get joy when I see you post them in the back of the Cullinan, man. It's always but no, Eric, I appreciate that context. It was incredible, man. I want to just kind of get things started with like 2 or 3 quick questions for you, and then we'll open it up to the audience to start asking some questions. So first things first, I love how you turn the pain into profit, essentially, right? Like you know what you had and you identified the problem that it was, and you built that business. What are some of those initial steps across every industry? Because you've had your foot, you've dabbled in and had success in a ton of different industries. So to be synonymous with everyone in here, what were those first steps that you kind of took to consistently building your businesses? Like, what were those things that you had online and the non-negotiables, the guarantees that you had across all those industries when you were starting your companies?
That's a really good question. It's kind of broad. There's a couple core things that I think stand out for people that are going to take kind of the entrepreneurial road instead of the traditional, go to college, get a job, work a 9 to 5 for 45 years, get a pension, go retire, wait to die, that whole thing, which sounds like slavery and misery to me. Might be for some people. For me, that's not the thing. One is that you have to be willing to take risk. Like a lot of people have a hard time tolerating the idea that this might not work out. There's no fucking guarantees. In fact, for a lot of people, it's not going to work out. In fact, failure and taking an ass whooping is absolutely part of entrepreneurship and business. And, my belief around that is if you're scared about the price of failure, wait till you meet the price of regret. And so you have to be willing to kind of put it all on the line and put it out there. You also have to be willing to walk a separate path. A lot of people, I'll tell you, when I started my company early on in my 20s, I had this idea, I had this vision, I believed in me, fucking nobody else did. Nobody else did. They were like, that's fucking stupid. Who are you? You didn't even graduate high school. What do you know about business? No one's going to pay you for that. And you had to withstand the criticism, of people and just bet it all on yourself. The other things that really come to mind for that is like distraction, right? Like a lot of people, especially in this ecosystem of social media today, think that things are going to happen a lot faster than they're going to happen. And if you can't commit to, like, the people that I know that ultimately were successful, really successful, one thing that most of them have in common is they have tunnel vision abilities. They're able to just focus on one thing obsessively and do that for a considerable period of time. One of the things that I see on people that have a hard time making progress or getting traction towards success is they're constantly doing something for months or a couple of years, and then starting and trying something new. You really have to commit to doing something for 10 years. It's a decade. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but the first 3 years of that sober house, I didn't make any money. I was still, cooking cheap food on a George Foreman grill and fucking ramen noodles and shit, like working construction and having to go through it. So, it's not supposed to be easy. You're not supposed to have a bunch of people that, believe in you in the beginning. It's not for everyone. And there are no guarantees. You just have to get out there, believe in yourself, put your head down, do the work, and never fucking give up. I think that was one of the most important things that also happened over the last, I don't know what it's been, 16, 17 years or something, whatever it is that, I think that people have the wrong idea around mental toughness. They think mental toughness, like they look at guys like me and other people that have reached levels of success and think that, oh, they must have never wanted to give up. No, that's not true. I can't tell you how many times I was nauseated worrying about how I'm going to make payroll, worrying about this problem, worrying about that problem, staring at the ceiling all night and getting up and showing up to the business the next day and acting like I had it all together. And really, did I want to quit? You're fucking right. I wanted to quit. I just never did. It just wasn't an option. No matter how bad at times in that journey I wanted to, I just removed the option and no matter what, didn't. And so there's just a couple of core principles that have worked really well for me. And I think those are very common denominators for a lot of people that have used those principles as a foundation for success.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. And Josh, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you to start bringing people up to ask their questions to Eric. Guys, as a reminder for anybody that has your hand raised, be sure to send your question directly to Josh, just so that way he can vet all the questions and keep your question to one, as well as keep your context to a minimum. If Eric needs more context from you when you ask him the question, he will ask you for it. So try to get right into the question. We've got a lot of questions. We got to cut off at 8. So Josh, go ahead and start bringing these questions on.
Absolutely. Gabby, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up first. How are you?
Hey, Gabby, you're muted.
You're muted, Gabby.
Okay.
Oh.
For some reason, I'm having a hard time. Can you hear me?
I can
Yes.
hear you. Yep.
Okay. Hey, I am very excited to talk to you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I am in the real estate business too. I own a real estate company. We have grown tremendously in the last 6 years. This company is owned by me and my 2 sons. So I am in the process of hiring an executive assistant because I cannot, no way I can handle it by myself anymore. Now, this is the question I have for you. I have been, my company buys properties, remodels those. These are single family homes. And some of the houses we will place them for sale again on the MLS. Some houses we will keep them as rentals. But our most successful exit strategy has been owner financing to families who cannot qualify for traditional financing. So we have been doing that for the 6 years. That has allowed us to grow tremendously. We have a lot of clients that want to keep working with us, and we have a passive income from this per month that can help us with the rentals. And so now I am in a position that we can grow, and I want to do that. But to do so, we need to get more capital because I'm hitting a cap with my banks that have been providing the financing for this portfolio. Currently, we have 160 units in value over $10 million. And I have been offered by a group of investors to buy the notes that we currently hold, but they're interested in buying all of them or a big part of it. And that will be about, probably will net about $500,000. but it is hard to take to consider selling them because we are getting this steady passive income from every month from it. But I also want to scale. We are in a position right now. My goal is to buy and sell 5 properties per month with what we can handle at this moment. And to do so, I need to line up with more investors, partners. I'm not too, I don't know, I'm not too pleased on just partnerships yet, but I'm just kind of a loss what to do. Maybe I should just sell the notes and start all over again. That will free up the lines of credit that I have with the banks too.
Yeah, you could. The other option is raise capital. You guys have a proven track record in the model. So raising either private capital for the deals and recapping them out, or raise a more traditional fund to be able to use other people's money to do the deals.
How would I start to do so to raise capital if I never done it before?
I would talk to a corporate attorneys. I would start to interview some corporate attorneys on putting together the actual fund structure, the legal entity, on, kind of the best practice. There's a 1,000 different ways to do it as far as the actual legal mechanism to form that. In that, it's all networking. Raising capital is how many people and getting out there and getting in the room. And so joining groups like this, I don't know if, James and Joshua are planning on having events, but, if there are events, get in the room on events, shake as many hands as you can and get to know people. Through good counsel as well, they have placement agents. These are people that will actually go out and have relationships with institutional capital that'll help raise the capital for you for a percentage, right? They have a finder's fee on capital that they'll raise for your fund. Going and networking with investment bankers and REITs and getting in those events, and really kind of it's a whole new world that you're brand new to, but it's fun, and it's time well spent. And so going to get into that universe and start to study it and start to meet more people and build more relationships.
Okay. I will definitely do that. Now, will you consider selling this package that I currently own? Or will you try to hold on to it if you could?
It really depends on what your goals and objectives are. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
thank you so much, Gabby. And just for the sake of time, we just got to keep moving. We got a lot of hands raised right now. Thank you so much for
Thanks, Gabby. Pleasure to meet you.
Luca, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up next. Guys, just real quick, just to reiterate, if we have a question, we just got to keep it to one. And let's just try to keep it like quick, snappy, just because we can get through as many questions as possible here.
Thank you so much, Joshua. Hey, Eric. So my question for you would be, how did you come to terms with the years lost to addiction and transform that regret into the fuel for the life you've built today?
Can you say the question one more time?
Yeah, sorry. How did you come to terms with the years lost to addiction and transform that regret into the fuel for the life you've built today?
I don't look at the years that I was in addiction as lost, right? They certainly didn't go to plan. I don't think at any point I planned on, becoming an addict or a criminal and going through all the pain in adversity that I did. But every single one of those days that I suffered out there, every single thing that happened to me gave me the life experience to make me who I am. And so after, really the one decision that I made, which was that one day, which was to never use drugs and alcohol again, and then followed through with that, I found a lot of passion in helping and understanding what it did for me, that it gave me my life back, one that I never thought was going to be possible, right? I'd fully accepted that I was going to die or go to prison. And, despite that, I've been able to live a very, amazing life. And so it's hard not to be passionate about sharing that with other people and trying to inspire other people when you know what this process and God and these disciplines have done for you yourself.
Do you think that you have found peace and
I
are you
have.
peaceful?
I will answer this and then I'm going to yell at you. One, I have found peace. Where I'm going to yell at you and I'm going to tell you and everyone else on the call is that James and Josh have set some rules for this call, and they've asked that everyone be quick, concise, and ask one question only. So out of respect for these guys, part of this, there's two fundamental principles that I think there's a good lesson for everyone in this call to learn. One is that if you can't follow simple direction, you're going to lose. And two is that if you talk too much, people are going to think you're unintelligent. And in the business world, that's called executive communication. The smartest people in the world, the wealthiest people in the world, the most successful people in the world are able to say the most with the least amount of words. And so a goal for all 196 people that are on this call, if you want to level up in life, a glass ceiling that you will never see that exists, but I assure you that it does, is your communication and being able to communicate well. And so being able to take whatever you're going to say and say it in a clear, concise, fast way, that is a tribute and something that's necessary to be successful. Otherwise, it'll be something that'll hold you guys back. And I'll be the one that's nice enough to hurt your feelings and tell you that, because most people won't. They'll just judge you quietly.
So much.
Yes, sir.
Luca, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for hopping on. All right, Christopher, welcome up, man. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for having me. So my question is, when scaling a pressure washing business, what steps would you take to generate more leads in the area that is not familiar with pressure washing or soft washing?
I don't know that there's first of all, I don't know that there's a geographical area that just is like insulated, that is God made these people unaware of pressure washing. I believe that all people in America are aware of pressure washing. I know what a pressure washer is. I believe that most people do too. But what I would do is, how would you find people that want your services? One, I would make sure that you have a good presence on Google. I would learn for anyone, right? When you think about business, just back up for business. Business has three verticals. It's very simple: sales and marketing, operations, which is fulfillment, either your product or service, and then finance and accounting, the money, right? And so my guess is that you have the operations down pat pretty well. You have a pressure washing business. You have the ability to go pressure wash things, right?
Correct.
But what you're struggling with is acquiring more customers and making more money. And so the focus on your business needs to be aggressively and obsessively studying how to become an expert level marketer and how to become an expert level salesperson. And people get these two things fucked up. They don't understand what is marketing and what is sales. Marketing has one mission statement. Marketing's job is to produce leads. How do we do that? Through ads or B2C, business to customer, or business to business marketing, right? And so all the different channels of marketing, I would get on and go, how are all the different, on Google, how do you market? What is marketing? And just spend your time getting a master's level education in marketing. And then marketing's job is to get the leads, right? Make the phone ring. Someone is on the phone that is a prospect that could possibly want to buy your service or your product. Then sales job is to then close that down and make the actual sale. And so people confuse sales with marketing, marketing with sales. Marketing's job is to produce a lead, a prospect, and sales' job is to actually sell them the service or the product. And so your job, sir, where a lot of people like yourself, home services businesses, all sorts of businesses that people can start, they believe the business, and it is the service or the product. I'm a pressure washing business. I do pressure washing. I'm an electrician. I'm a roofer, cider, HVAC, whatever, right? And that's great. But the best business people in the world aren't the ones who can actually do the work. They're the ones that can sell the work and market the work. And so your job is to go out and, one, become the best marketer that you could possibly be, and then sales as well, and figure out how to generate revenue.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You got it.
Christopher, thanks for
That
hopping
guy
on.
follows directions. That guy's going to win.
That's a winner right there. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Chris is a
Love it.
winner.
Eric, I just want to say I love the in-depth breakdown on that. I know that was very actionable and applicable to a lot of different people on here. Just want to say.
So it's very simple.
Mike, welcome up, man. Thanks for coming.
Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. My name is Mike, and I own a media and event planning company. We make donations to men's homeless shelters from the profits we make. How can I plan an event for you and make a donation to your sober living homes?
For me, you can't. Maybe these guys have events coming. You can participate with that. Right now, we have our hands full, my friend, and I appreciate it. And we do a lot of events on our own already. But I very much appreciate the offer. And keep up the good work, man. I appreciate your contribution to the homeless population.
Thank you for your time.
You got it.
Mike, thanks for coming.
I really respect and love when people take the opportunity to get on and just straight up pitch you. Like, God bless. There you go.
Kai, how you doing?
Kai, what's up, man?
What's up, Eric? Eric, what is your process for making difficult life decisions?
What is my process? It is two words immediately come up: pause and prayer. Difficult life decisions oftentimes look a lot different when I take a day or two to really sit on things and just take silence. And the prayer is, I'm a God guy. Like that, I talk about that pretty openly. And so I'll spend time and just, ask God for the right intuitive thought or action, and to give me guidance on how I should see this situation and this decision, and, what he would have me do and he would have me be. What I don't do is go out and talk to, 20 people about it and get 20 different, opinions, and especially don't talk to people that don't have what I want in that area. And so if it's a business decision, I'm going to talk to people that I respect in business, and I'm going to get their counsel. And if it's a family decision or, a life or relationships, I'm going to go talk to people that have experience and integrity and character around those areas that I look up to as well, and I aspire to be like. But a lot of it, I think people confuse themselves because they go and talk to their friends and, other people, and they get a bunch of other opinions, and it just kind of muddies up the thought process around the whole thing.
Got it. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Love.
Awesome. Justin, I'm going to go ahead and bring you up. And like I said, guys, really appreciate, just keep these questions snappy. You guys are doing a great job of this.
What's up, Justin? Oh, you're
muted, just so you know.
Hey, Eric, thank you for taking the time to answer these questions, and I really appreciate you guys having me here. It is a pleasure, and I like talking to like-minded people. Basically, I started dropshipping not that long ago, and I'm trying to figure out if dropshipping is the thing for me, because I had a mentorship where I wasted about 3 bands, and I didn't put the work in that I needed to put in to see the fruits. And basically, I just want to know, how do you know when you're doing the right, like when you're doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing? Because I have no problem doing any gigs or any side hustles, but it's hard to really build something for like long term, like a drop shipping or a business, or figure out what I really want to do with my time and what I really want to invest my money and time into.
So what is the question? How do you know when you're supposed to be doing, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing?
How do I know that dropshipping is the right thing, or what thing is the right thing to do? What to dedicate my time to, and what business I really want to do?
Honest answer is I don't know. I mean, you have to figure it out. If you have people that you know that have been successful at it, then it's a viable opportunity. But like I said, early on in the call, a lot of people start and just give up too soon, which you self-identified. That's kind of been your problem, is you didn't put enough effort into the opportunity to see the results. And so whatever it is, whether it's drop shipping or you're going to open a competitive pressure washing company and compete with my friend we just talked to on, pressure washing services, you have to stick with it. And, one thing that's true, guys, and again, not everything I say is going to be the most popular, but I assure you it's going to be the realest advice you're going to get. You're going to have to work hard. And, you're going to have to work harder than if you went and got a job for 40, 45 hours a week. And if anyone thinks that they're going to get successful part-time or even full-time, on 40-hour work weeks, just go get a job, and go do whatever you're going to do. Entrepreneurship, building a business, making real money, it is going to require absolutely everything that you have to give. And so I don't know how to tell you. You have to use your own common sense, brain power, research, and intellect to make the decision on, is this a good opportunity or not? But when you do make the decision on whichever opportunity you find is the right opportunity, you have to bring absolutely everything you have to give and try your hardest for a long period of time on that opportunity for it to work. There is no overnight success, and I think that a lot of things that are misconstrued on online offers, courses, and things like that, such as drop shipping, is the marketing around them is designed to make the sale, not tell the truth over the difficulty of how any opportunity that's worthwhile is going to be. So no matter what the ad told you, or the webinar, or the sales pitch, I assure you anything worthwhile doing is going to be difficult, and it's going to take a lot of time.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate your time and advice.
You got it.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks for coming up.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, Bryson. Welcome up, man. Thanks for hopping on today.
What's going on, you guys?
Bryson,
So I'm in the credit space, like credit and business consulting space, but like in entrepreneurship period, building any business, what are your things that you like do when you feel stuck or stagnant? Like when you get to like a certain peak in your business and you kind of like don't know what to do from there? Is it like you just take time out to learn more, or get like mentorship, or like what do you do, or what did you do to like continue scaling your business or whatever?
Mentorship, for sure. Right. You have to learn. Listen, I dropped out of high school when I was 15 years old. I still don't even have a GED. And so everything I learned was from my own research, self-education, or from a mentor and a teacher themselves. And so specifically searching out people that have an actual resume in doing what you do, but having done it at a higher level than you have, that can teach you and show you what they went through. I'm a huge advocate for making that investment and learning through people with lived experience.
For sure. Thank you.
You got it.
Bryson, thanks for coming today, boss.
You're welcome.
Celia, how's it going?
Hey guys, great to see you. Eric, I have a 7-figure security consulting firm that I'm trying to scale to 8 figures and exit before I am 50. I have a very niche market. I cater to high net worth families, celebrity clients, and they're not the type that like to share us because they feel like we can't service other families if we're with them. From a marketing perspective, I'm trying to figure out how to market to these folks, or try to find the kind of clients that I'm looking for, but they're very specific. They're not out there scrolling Instagram. They're not on Facebook. How do I reach those people?
What do you do for them?
I create security consulting programs. So security programs from the ground up, home security, executive protection. We do advances. We'll travel with them anywhere they go around the world. We do event security for their $1 million weddings, things like that.
Love that. I would look to who are all the other people that have relationships with your clients, or the avatar of who your client is. And that is who I would go to target and go build relationships with them. And so I would go to their events, go to their networking, go to their conferences. So an example of some of that would be high-end attorneys, right? Like all high net worth people are going to have attorneys, especially families that, they have their consigliere. Mine says Phil, right? Phil is the guy who, if I die, Phil's in charge. And so I look to Phil for everything. I talk to him, probably 3 times a week on this business and that business. And he's a problem solver that's in my team of advisors. Another one is going to be wealth managers. And so the teams at Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, et cetera, right? Like who's managing these people's money and being able to provide, network with them and make it through the entry of the gatekeeper to those families by referral, by the other advisors to them.
Amazing. I love it.
Family office conferences, right? You want to get in there. They have a lot of conferences and networking events that family offices interact with each other and share ideas and connections and investments and things like that. So getting into that whole world of family offices and knowing. And so the family offices often have the family, and the family is very hard to get to, but then they have the actual operators in the family office, have a CEO, COO, president, whatever it is. And so building relationships with the family offices as a service provider for high net worth individuals, providing security services.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Go get them.
Thanks. Thanks for hopping on. Great question. And guys, thank you so much for getting right to it. This just allows us to answer as many questions as possible and provide a lot of value for everyone. So Jonathan, thanks for coming on the call today, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking my call. Eric, thank you so much for your advice. I wanted to ask you, I own a residential mental health facility in Florida. It's a very small 9-bed facility.
Right.
And what we struggle with is reciprocal relationships because our facility is so small, like at network clients, we can't provide high volume to the bigger facilities, and we provide very high quality services. We do everything, outcome studies. I mean, we do everything that we can to prove our value to our customers and to market that value to our customers. My question is, how do you develop reciprocal relationships in a position where maybe you can't provide the amount of referrals to big organizations that they're used to working with?
So you're an inpatient facility and you're trying to build relationships with other providers.
Substance abuse facilities such as yourself who have clients that might have mental health issues that supersede their substance abuse issues, or they've been in treatment multiple times and they need mental health treatment as opposed to substance abuse treatment, or hospitals, some of the bigger hospitals that may work with big facilities that take every type of insurance. You know what I mean? So they might have a case manager there and they just want to give a patient to a program and not have to go to that out-of-network provider. They want one place to drop a client and they can be accommodated. So I'm looking to build relationships with some of the big organizations, and we also refer out. So I'm telling my marketing people now, look, if we're not, if other facilities are not referring to us, we have to be very careful. We want to refer them to very high quality programs, but we also need to refer them to places that are going to be reciprocal.
You identified your problem and your solution right in the same thing. And so you said that you told your marketing people, you're a 9-bed facility. You are the marketing guy. And so if you're relying on someone else to go have these conversations for you, you should be the one going and building the relationship, right?
Yes.
And so that was the solution that you said building relationships. And so I would suggest that you personally go see these people and you go, break bread with them, lunch, coffee, dinner, meetings, bring them donuts, sit down, because it's all relationships, right? There's a major difference whether a marketing person comes in and tries to meet with the decision maker of where a referral goes in the healthcare business. That's the juice. Somebody's got the juice, right? And so you're trying to influence the person that's the decision maker on where the juice goes. and you're sending some delegated person when you're a 9-bed boutique facility to talk on your behalf. You know, stop being so lazy and go up there and talk to them yourself.
I'm a therapist. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, the clinical director, CEO. I wear so many hats, but you're right. I need to get out there.
You got to get out there and do it yourself. And I'm joking calling you lazy, but I know you're working hard. But it's, you know, this is an area of the business that you can't delegate out, you know, and so it's the answer so many times in business and life, the answer is in the work that we're avoiding doing. And so like you've been like talking to the marketing guys and outsourcing this and doing that. And the one thing that it sounds like you haven't done is gone out and just sat down and had dinner with, you know, the 20 people that matter most to your business for external relationships. And so, you know, if you have 2 dinners a week in the next 10 weeks, you could touch all of them and have those conversations. And that would change the landscape of your business and the referrals that you're getting.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's where my intuition has gone. But yeah,
they're going to send to you. They're going to send to you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, they're going to send to you, Jonathan, because they believe in you, not some marketing guy, you know? Oh, I think he's frozen.
I think we lost him. But Jonathan, thanks for hopping on today, man. I appreciate it. That was a good question.
Right.
Alrighty. Eddie, what's up, man? How are you?
Yes,
I'm doing good.
Sorry, my connection's a little unstable.
Eddie, you're good, bro.
Am I good? Am I good? All right.
You're good.
Thank y'all for bringing me on here, Mr. Spofford. It's great to meet you. First, I just want to give you your props right now. You're killing this call. This is probably one of the best ones.
Thank you, bro.
And your story is really inspiring for a lot of people. Not even just myself. I can't really relate, thankfully, but I mean, just to hear somebody that really said, I gotta buckle down and really make some things happen, make change. I admire that about you. But my question for you is, has there ever been a moment or moments where you felt like you were holding yourself back? And what was the process of letting yourself go and really going to make that big change or whatever the progress that needs to be made?
Honestly, for me, no. I've been all in for a long time, right? And so I don't have a lot of fear about just going in with both feet. I say that in my content a lot, you know, all in. And so, you know, I don't hold back, but I think the more important answer to the question that you're asking, or the question you didn't ask, is this: is like, how do I go both feet in and go after it with everything that I have? Here's the answer. And I promise you, I think about this every single day. And it's this, is that there is going to come a time for me, Eric, and you, Eddie, that we're going to be out of time here and we're going to be out of chances. That life goes by very quickly. And if all goes to plan, we will at some point be old and gray and wrinkly, and we will be surrounded by people that love us, and the opportunity to do it will be gone. It'll be over. The show is at the end. The credits are about to roll. Like there's no more gas in the tank. There's no more opportunity to do it any differently. What holds most people back is fear. And it's fear of failure. It's fear of what could happen. If you really boil that down, it's actually fear of embarrassment. And people actually care more about what other people think than they do the failure in itself, or the risk of the things that could happen. When I think about that last, time while I'm still here on planet Earth, before I leave and go on whatever spiritual journey we're going after, our last breath, the thing that scares me the most in that is regret. And so I calibrate to being terrified about that regret of the things I wish I did, the things I wish I said, the risk I wish I took, the business I wish I started, the friendship I wish I went all in on, the the relationship, whatever it is, right? That scares me way, 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 way more than what could possibly go wrong if I do. I don't actually care about that. And so the fear of things going bad, the fear of failure, which I think that the fear of failure is primarily driven by the fear of embarrassment. Like, let me ask you a question. Are you scared of getting punched in the face?
No, sir.
What if it was in front of 30,000 people in Madison Square Garden?
You gotta fight back. But I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, most people aren't actually scared of getting hit in the face, but the fear of the fight is like, what if I lose? What's that going to look like? What are people going to think about me? Right? If no one was ever going to know, it wouldn't matter as much. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's that stuff that I calibrate on, that it's just like, guys, like we don't have a lot of time left. Like, life's moving by incredibly fast. Like, if you don't do it now, if you're not ready to do it now, the chances are like life's going to pass you by and you're never going to. Like, I think some of the most motivational, I'm not like a big motivational, inspirational guy. I like discipline much more than I like, inspiration and motivation. But I think some of the most motivating things that you could hear is just this one statement: you're going to die. And a lot of people understand that, but it doesn't drop down into their heart about their own mortality, and that, like, yo, this is like, we got one fucking shot here. Like, we got one shot to do it. And, what's the worst that could happen? I think about it for myself. I started this journey homeless with a couple pairs of clothes. I didn't even have a backpack. I used to carry them around in a trash bag. I had my first apartment didn't even have heat. It was a $550 a month studio apartment in the fucking hood, and I slept on a pile of blankets for the first winter with no heat. If I got to go back there because I took risk and it didn't work out, fuck it. Whatever. There used to be this little Spanish Dominican lady down the hall of my apartment building. She didn't speak a word of English, but she always cooked me the most dope Dominican food every day. I'll go right back to the neighborhood, be eating platanos and fucking pollo and all this shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just don't really give a fuck. But that's the how and the why that I don't care that much, is because the fear of leaving this life with regret is just so much more overwhelming to me than the fear of anything that could go wrong in the process of giving it absolutely everything that I have to give while I have the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate this one. This was right on time. Thank you so much.
No doubt. You got it.
Eddie, thanks for hopping on, man. It's great to see you.
Yes, sir.
Anthony, what's up, man?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Anthony, what's up?
Good, good. Hey, Eric, quick question. What are the most important principles or strategies you follow when scaling your business to 7 figures? I'm in auto detailing and I provide a service everyone needs.
Sales and marketing. Same thing I told the other guy. Sales and marketing. You could be the best auto detailer in the fucking world. If you can't sell it, doesn't matter. And so, you want to figure out, the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how to scale selling, detailing, and I'm going to figure out how to hire a guy and train him how to do it. So sales and marketing, you have to go obsessively study how to become an expert level marketer, expert level sales guy.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thanks for hopping on, man. Alan, how you doing?
Alan, what's up?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have a big question that for you. I wanted to know, sometimes we listen to our father, we listen and listen and listen. But when we're by ourselves, like right now, I'm by myself right now. I'm looking at myself right now that it's more harder when you don't got guidance, right? When you were by yourself, mister, how was it? That's my question.
I was by myself. How was it?
Yes.
I
I
don't
don't
I don't understand the question. Can you clarify what you mean by that?
when you're by yourself, when there was nobody right there, how could you keep leveling up, you know?
It's discipline, right? Like you have to do the work no matter what, and you have to do it on your own. Like, you can't rely on people's motivation, inspiration, or accountability. Like you're either gonna do it or you're not. Like, Alan, like, do you want to be rich and do you want to be successful or not? It's a yes or no fucking question. And like, if the answer is yes, then you're gonna do what it takes to get there. And like, if you answer the question yes and you're lying, you'll be exposed for the fraud you are in the process. And so people are either hungry and they want this, and absolutely nothing is going to stop them, or they're going to find a fucking excuse on why they couldn't do it. That's as simple as that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you, Alan.
Awesome. Well, Eric, I know that we're like got 2 or 3 minutes left. I kind of wanted to just ask you real quick for the members, because I think that they could probably benefit from this. In our interview, I asked you about, what's, kind of the best financial investment that somebody can make in today's world. And I kind of want to just get your thoughts on, some things for some people, for the people in here that have put some money to the side, they're starting to make some good money. What do you think are some things that people should be doing with the money on the side? Where again, like when we talked about in that first interview, that would you rather have a river or a pile of money? What would you be investing in right now in today's world for people that are, trying to start deploying their money and making it work for them?
If it's capital they want to deploy passively, well, I'll answer the question in 2 ways. Passively, it's real estate, right? The stock market, it's just never been my thing. A lot of people have had a lot of luck with it. It's never been my thing. I don't like looking at my money on a computer screen with the guys on Wall Street and all that. I like being able to, there it is. And so real estate, why real estate? One, it cash flows. It pays you to own it. 2, appreciation. It's going to be worth more over time. You're taking your liquid cash and putting it into a hard asset. Cash over time is going to be worth less. The real estate over time is going to be worth more. So cash flow, appreciation. Next is depreciation. That the IRS, through their tax code, allows a lot of tax benefits around real estate investing and capturing depreciation to be able to use it to write down your tax liability and minimize how much you're going to pay the IRS. If you're going to get into real estate, make sure you really spend a lot of time learning about depreciation. And lastly, the 4th pillar of why real estate is leverage. You can borrow money to buy it. The banks are in the financial worlds your markets are probably some of the smartest people on planet Earth. And so you ask yourself this: if you go to Chase Bank and you want to buy $100,000 worth of Chase Bank stock, will Chase lend you the money to do it? No. If you want to buy $100,000 of that bank stock, you need $100,000. If you want to go buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, will anyone lend you the money to buy it? If you could, no, they won't. But if you have $100,000 building, there's endless banks that'll give you 75 grand as long as you have 25 to put down. And so it gives you exposure on a larger amount of the asset class because you're able to borrow money to acquire more of it, where in most situations you cannot. As far as the real estate's a broad answer. I personally, in today's market, like Section 8 or low-income housing. In very simply, why is that the government incentivizes landlords to get into providing low-income housing and overpays on the rent. And so it creates a higher than average cash flow compared to other real estate assets. That's passive. As far as active, starting a business. Really, one of the best things that you can do is to start one of these businesses. We heard from car detailing, pressure washing, like a small business like that, taking capital and putting it into an opportunity. I think it's always a good idea if that's what you want to do.
Absolutely. Well, Eric, Thank you so much for being our guest this week, man. I had an incredible pleasure of having you on, man. We're
Good to
super
see you.
be on the call, man. I look forward to staying in touch with you and keep watching you do great things. For anybody who's in here right now, Josh, could you go ahead and add Eric's Instagram for everybody to go follow Eric on Instagram? But also, Eric, do you have any events coming up? Anything else that you want to talk about for the members that are on the call?
We have like I said, I coach entrepreneurs. These are business owners. It's really only for people who own a business that's doing at least $1 million a year in annual revenue. Our membership typically is 1 million to 50 million in annual revenue. And we have a mastermind coming up on February 20th and 21st here in Miami. That's going to be at my house and also having networking dinner out on the boat. And we're going to be focusing how to grow, scale your business, and prepare to exit someday, right? Everyone wants to learn how do you sell a business for a lot of money. So we're going to take 2 days talking about how to grow and scale and also how to prepare for a liquidity event on how to sell. So some really, really amazing entrepreneurs in the room coming, business owners, got that coming up. Other than that, not really, man. Just head down.
Are those links in your Instagram bio, or is there a website that people should be going to?
Yeah. You can book a call with my team on my Instagram bio. There's the link tree, and so it's the Inner Circle Mastermind is there. You can talk to the team. You can also just shoot me a DM that says Mastermind or something that sticks out. I get a lot of messages, but if I see it, I'll send you the info as well.
Amazing. Perfect. Eric, thank you so much, guys. Like you said,
Rob, guys, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Eric. We appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
Peace.
Have a great day, guys.
Later, guys.
Thank you.